Hello, everyone. Since morning, we have been listening to excellent presentations, and speakers have been really telling us the facts and telling us what are the pain points and what are the solutions. So technology in healthcare. Since there are lots of youngsters, I must appreciate the organizer for creating such a panel in which everybody has a very different skill on which the background and skill on which they are working. So if you want to understand what is happening, we have 4 different verticals, which is very interesting. So I would request each of you to one by one tell what exactly are you doing, and then we'll proceed for the conversation further. So Virendra, we'll start with you. Yeah. Please understand what everybody is doing, and then we will take the discussion further.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Vora, and good evening, friends. I'm Virendra Patrikar. I'm a co-founder, CEO of a practice management portal called IndiaOPD.com. As the name suggests, we work in the OPD segment. The sheer reason is the millions of OPD documents that are getting generated across the country, which are getting unrecorded, not yet ready for the AI to work upon. We are also working on the digitization platform and wearable integration. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Deepshika, yeah, please.
Hello, everyone. Since morning, we are asking questions regarding genomics. So everybody must have an idea that we belong to deep tech. I am CEO and founder.
Wait a second. Can anybody explain what a deep tech startup is? Anybody definition of deep tech? How is it different than any other startup?
Definitely, this is most challenging.
Okay, so let me explain.
Technology is now coming in India.
No, so the difference between a startup and a deep tech startup is that any other startup would directly go for their innovation and go for monetization. Deep tech startup is a startup where it is the technological advance and patents based on which you try to raise the bar by making a huge solution for the country. So you must be having few patents or something?
So we are trying to file some patents. We are in between the process.
Okay, yeah, please continue. Yes. So just explain a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, we are a deep tech company, and our aim is to promote preventive diagnostics and later on the precision medicine. So we are providing n number of different tests based on DNA. For example, hair genomics. My colleague, Dr. Risha, has developed one of very wonderful test based on hair genomics. We have nutrigenomics, we have pharmacogenomics. There are n number of tests that we have developed so far.
Yeah. Kandarp, your...
So my name is Kandarp, and before I give my little bit more detailed introduction, there is a famous quote that Shah Rukh Khan has given to us that my name is Khan and I'm not a terrorist, just like an I am here and I'm not a doctor, right? So I think, but I have been working with a lot of doctors for almost more than 10 years now. So I'm a founder and CEO of a digital agency. We provide full service digital marketing services as well as the web development and the IT solutions. And we have 500 plus healthcare clients all across the globe. We have a team of around 150 people now. It's been 20 years that I have been leading this team. And I would say I'm here to learn from all of you again.
Yeah, Dr. Ujjwala, please.
Good evening, everyone. So how many of you heard about clinical research organization? So after COVID, everyone, I think, and Madam Perizad is also there. She belongs to my area. So this is Dr. Ujjwala Salvi, and I belong to a CRO named Nucleon Research. So Nucleon Research is founded by me in 2017, and it was a startup, but it's now a 7-year-old company, and we are doing vaccine development and clinical trials. Along with vaccine, we are also into biosimilars and all. So let's discuss about the AI and the various technologies that we adopt for doing a clinical trials. Thank you.
Okay. So Virendra, coming back to you, you said that you're running your India OPD. Is it like any other aggregator model, or it is somehow different for all of them to understand?
Yeah, there are differentiators. Probably people might have heard about Practo. right? It's a similar model, but with a couple of differentiators on the front of digitization, wearable integration, and increasing the
Wearability integration. This I haven't
wearable
heard.
integration of wearables.
So that is something very interesting.
Yes, I see. Yes, I think.
Yeah.
So it's basically the topic, technology and healthcare. That is where the domain is, right? And second is, when I say efficiency at the OPD, I'm sure we all are aware the time we spend at the OPD desk, right? That is what? Crores and crores of man hours are wasted for the country, right? That is where we come in picture. Whatever doctors we have increased the efficiency of the OPD by more than 70%. We reduce the cross-infection that happens at the OPD, and that is proven. That's proven. So when I say in reducing the cross-infection, that means we plan to, something is bugging me. So we plan to improve on the time the patient and the relative spends at the OPD level by making automation in the appointment process, number one. Number two, we also improve on the deliverables by the staff. When I say efficiency, it is a holistic efficiency at the OPD in India. Now there are, as I said, crores of OPDs that are happening in the country, and that is one of the most neglected space in the healthcare industry for a country with a population of 140 crores. I don't know why that fault line is in our planning process. I'm sure the government is taking up this in a very, as a serious note when you have sent a proof of concept to them. So this is one area where we are absolutely clear. We are taking time, but we are taking one step at a time and with lot of proof of concepts.
Excellent, very good. Deepshika, for others to understand, can you give us some example with which anybody can connect and understand what you are doing and how it can be useful in their life?
Exactly. So the basic concept is this. We as human beings suffer from n number of things, and even we don't know about that. For example, I am telling you a short story about our previous Miss Universe, Harnaz Kaur Sandhu. During her tenure, when she was supposed to visit the globe, she just realized that she is suffering from celiac disease. And due to that disease, her weight increased manifold. And everybody was mocking her, because how it is possible, a Miss Universe, that too fat. And she was going through a lot of trauma due to that. What if in her early days of career, or maybe during her childhood, she was aware of the fact that she is intolerant to gluten, and somehow at any point of time during her career or during her age, she will develop such type of disorder where she can put on a lot of weight, right? So if in this type of thing we come in picture, we can provide you with the knowledge that this is your genetic makeup and these are the genes which are mutated. So one point of time or at another point of time, there is strong likelihood that you can express such type of genotype. So we are in the preventive diagnostic space right now, and then we will shift to the precision medicine. We have very wonderful test of nutrigenomics, where we can provide you with the information of n number of different type of allergies, food allergies like gluten intolerance, egg allergy, allergy to caffeine. And apart from this, you must have heard about few of the people who got heart attack during gym. I'm sure that you have that idea, right? So we can provide you the predisposition of such kind of conditions, that up to what level you can do the exercise, how your body is behaving to certain type of physical activities. These things are so precise that it can make your life easier manifold. So I just want to promote such kind of preventive diagnostics, where you can get a Janam Patri sort of thing, that this is the thing that we are suffering from, and maybe it is not expressing at this particular time, but maybe 2 years down the line or 10 years down the line, I am just exposed to such kind of things.
Kandarp, coming to you, so what do you think, how do you actually analyze all this, and suppose we want you to market what she is saying, so how does digital marketing come in the picture from technology's perspective, sending the right message and the right people receiving it so that the effect is on the dot?
Yeah. So a lot of people that we work with, a lot of healthcare businesses that we work with, the common pain area that we get is that we have been investing a lot of money into the marketing, but we are not getting the right patient, quality leads, or maybe the customers for any other healthcare business, not the hospitals or individual practitioners. So in her case, I would probably, because we have been talking about making people aware about the thing since the morning, and people need to be educated on this as well. So the best source would be the social media, which has been kind of thing. So what I would propose is that most of the articles that will be published by, approved by her, based on the fact that on ongoing discussion that we try to understand how this entire genomic work, and after having AI in last 1.5 years, it has become very easy for us as a digital marketer to at least get some sort of raw material put together, discuss in the meetings with the doctors and experts and all. So writing articles and then repurposing the same article in a different format. So let's say she might not have a time to do all of these things digitally, right? That's the biggest pain area, because they understand you guys are the experts, but you don't have a time, right? So what we have to do as a digital marketer is that without changing the meaning or maybe anything, we have to stick to the content that is given to us as a master content, and we repurpose it. And when I say repurpose, we create reels out of that. We create video, like for an example, infographics, which explains the thing, because people don't want to read all of these things. You know, image is something which people understands well, and then they are interested in reading more, they go to guidance. So I would propose her maybe more of an awareness kind of stage, which is in a conversion funnel, which we call in our digital marketing. And along with that, since she is inherently also doing the branding of her own business. So we always try to make sure that, because a lot of business, hospital nowadays are looking for branding as well, because sometimes when you have an emergency, you need to recall the brand that you wanted to go with, right? So that is very important. It's a long process. It's not something that I wanted to create my brand and it would be an overnight journey, or maybe it's 3 months or 6 months. Even if I have thousands of dollars that I would spend, it won't create a brand. It requires consistency for a longer period and to a specific audience, right? And in order to find out the audience segmentation, we have a set of questionnaires that we sit together and understand that who is the right, where somebody was talking about the right age, like you asked about that case. And that is the kind of question that we would have, and she would respond to and say that 22 to 48 is the age group. So now when we will be doing any paid social marketing, we have a facility where we can select the age group, demographics, geography, and everything. Somebody might have an information that there is something, for example, in the villages, the preventing healthcare is not that famous compared to the metro city. So we would rather start with the villages, we would start with the metro city like Delhi or maybe Mumbai or Pune or any other part of Bangalore or something like that. So this is how we probably help her.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In last few years, it seems most of the corporates or other people are investing more in digital marketing vis-a-vis print or electronic media.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
So the primary reason why they have shifted to the online marketing is because that is where the audience is. So earlier it used to be like, that people were listening to the radio while they're driving for 1 hour, right? Nowadays, I think they have either driver who is maybe driving for them and they are on the social media scrolling up the things kind of thing. So the people are on social media, right? That is the primary reason. Second thing is it's more cost effective compared to the print and kind of thing. And the third most important thing, which is the influencing factor, is that this is trackable. So when you do it online, you probably know that every digital marketing campaign that we run, it has a separate tracking for us, which evaluates. So let's say we start with something, and then we run it for 3 months, right? And we evaluate which one has given the most return to us on the investment that we have done for that marketing budget. That is something which is also possible. So let's say you have a print advertisement with the tracking code as well, but that's a little bit difficult. Compared to that, here we have more mechanisms. That is another reason why people has moved to the social media.
Dr. Ujjwala, how you're doing wonderful work. How has technology changed the research aspect from your perspective?
Exactly. Actually, if we, like during COVID season, okay, so everything has stopped, okay. You people were sitting at home, but we were working 20 hours a day because that's the only area where, you know, a lot of medicines are repurposed for the use of, you know, COVID. And then there are a lot of vaccines, you know, developed over 6-7 months, you know. Normal vaccine take around 15 to 20 years to develop. During COVID time, this particular span is just reduced down to 6-7 months. So having said this, like, you know,
which is incredible, and hats off to the researchers of the
yes,
country.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And whatever you spoke about, you know, the wearable device and the pharmacogenomics, we had used everything in the clinical research, okay. And see, this is highly regulated area. So whatever we do, it has to be, you know, within that regulatory environment, okay. These days now, you know, we are moving very fast, very, I mean, enormously, you know, and taking the e-way, you know, the electronic way. So these days, you know, we are not, you know, some trials, you know, run paperlessly, okay, absolutely on, and those softwares and the application that we are used, you know, they are GDPR and HIPAA compliant, and then the ethic and the patient's confidentiality is at really, you know, it's very important to us. So these days we are using AI and a lot of data aggregation, you know, so that we can reduce the trial, bring the transparency. This is what our regulators want. And we can bring those medicines, you know, as fast as possible in the market. And the another thing is, like, you know, the hospitals. I mean, the way hospitals run, like, you know, these days the e-pro is there. Now a lot of hospitals are doing EMR. So it is very easy for us to, you know, conduct these clinical trials in a big way. You know, we conduct a lot of, what you call population surveys, you know, using e-pro. So earlier it was with paper, a lot of, you know, mistakes people used to do. But right now, these days, you know, we are literally, you know, hospitals are taking records, and we are doing real-time survey, data cleaning, and that reduced the lot of man hours, and that brings, you know, again, the transparency, you know. This is what, you know, our regulators add, and that ultimately reduce the, you know, reduce the whatever analytic that you want, you know, that you will get. That also reduces the time to, you know, for any particular drug to time to the market, you know. This is what really, and our area is, we are moving very fast, you know, enormous rate. Yes.
Okay. Virendra, what are the challenges you've faced from service providers? Because your work is totally dependent on...
Yeah. So mine is a B2B business. We started with B2B, now we are in B2C. So the question is very apt. What are the challenges? And with due respect and salutations to all the practicing medicos here. It has been in a very, very difficult task to make doctors come on the digital platform as far as, thank you so much. Abhi bhi, we are still burning. We are still burning cash. For the last 7 years, we have burned nearly 2 crores. We are ready to burn another crore on that, but we are not putting our foot down as far as adoption is concerned. See, there is a hesitancy from the consumer perspective. For us, consumer will be doctors because they are the service provider, right? So that is one. Second, their absolute hesitancy in having a bit of a technically qualified person at the OPD staff, as an OPD staff. I hope you agree with me. Sir, patthar pe sar patak lo. I gave a new vertical to 7 hospitals that I will manage your OPD. I will manage your OPD with my brand. I will collect 10 rupees, 20 rupees from a patient and try to survive my staff at the OPD. What happened? वो स्टाफ बोलता है मैडम ये तो महीने में 70,000 रुपये लेके जा रहे हैं घर पे बंद करो इनका दुकान. See, when we talk of tech, when we talk of deep tech, we also have to understand the mindset. Beyond that, the mentality. Beyond that, the degree of acceptance by the professional, healthcare professional. It's extremely difficult. See, getting money from somewhere else, like Practo, getting 250 crores and making doctors on board is something different. And making a doctor convince and on board with his wishes is an extremely different long-term model which we are following.
I really totally agree with you because I face the same thing with psychiatrists, mental health. I would like to share that during COVID, I happen to be presently also I'm the chairperson of Digital Mental Health Task Force of Indian Psychiatric Society. So I was able to convince GAPO, which is Global Association of Physicians of India, to collaborate with Indian Psychiatric Society. So they funded the whole thing, in which they gave us a platform which was further supported by Apollo Hospital. And I spent around 2 months to see to it that it should reach the target audience. That was, we made this helpline only for the health workers. We were focusing on health workers. And to my surprise, the biggest challenge came to me from the psychiatrists. Because they were not digitally savvy. They were voluntarily, from their side, they were all out to help the healthcare workers. But then when I felt this, I then thought it's better that I run a parallel first demo, live demo. So I brought Apollo team live digitally. Then so we had 70 psychiatrists. Majority said that, you know, Dr. Vora, it's an excellent work, but we are not very comfortable. So there is a term known as digital navigator, what you are trying to say. So when I went and talked to the people all over the world, so the same challenge they were also facing. So in USA, they also were facing the same challenge. And I have been running an IT company for last 11 years. So I know that I have put such people in between who are trained technologically, and they are the people acting as a bridge between clinician and patients. Otherwise, you can't run a OPD. So I've been running this hybrid OPD in which I see my patients both in person as well as online since 2011, not after pandemic. So this is what you are facing. Yes, even I face the same thing.
Yes, I'll give you 2 examples to top on to this chronic issue. I'll give you 2 use cases. See, there is a big cardiology hospital in our city called Nagpur. I hope you know, everybody knows Nagpur now. So thank you for that. So, okay, so we have a big cardiac hospital there, some 25 years old, right? They are using our solution only for online appointments. Why? Because it caters to how much? 100-kilometer radius of the rural area. How do people come in India? Everybody is aware of it, right? रात को phone करते हैं, phone नहीं उठाते OPD में, फिर वो टेम्पो में बैठ के 10 लोग आते हैं, पेशेंट का ड्राइवर, पेशेंट के रिलेटिव्स, अरे उसको तकलीफ हुई है, पूरा गांव बैठ जाता है उसमें, ठीक है? नागपुर में आते हैं 8 बजे, हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं, वो गेट खोलता है 9 बजे, देन यू टेक अपॉइंटमेंट, 2 बजे की अपॉइंटमेंट, वो गॉन. 2 बजे की अपॉइंटमेंट मीन्स दैट रिलेटिव हैज़ टू पे फॉर एवरीथिंग, द एंटायर टीम आई शुड से, 10 लोगों की जो टीम आती है उसके लिए पूरा खर्चा पानी करते हैं. और एंड ऑफ द डे हाउ मच ही पे फॉर द डायग्नोसिस? 1,500, 2,000. एंड हाउ मच इज ही पेइंग फॉर दैट? 10,000, 12,000. So what our system did is go online, take a token based appointment or a time based appointment. वो ऑनलाइन जाता है, अपॉइंटमेंट लेता है 2 बजे की, सुबह 10 बजे निकलते हैं गांव से, सिर्फ 2 लोग आते हैं, अपॉइंटमेंट लेते हैं और निकल जाते हैं. Now this constitutes 60% of the patients that come to that hospital. So when I spoke about efficiency, this is one case. Another case of digitization, I'll tell you, we are pitching for a digitization solution to a big hospital called, it's a pediatric hospital where 21 doctors are associated. It's one of the biggest names in central India. We proposed a digitization solution to them because our solution snaps a page in 2 minutes without removing it on the file, right? So the doctor never got convinced, but we were saying कि भैया तेरे को ज़रूरत है, मुझे पता है, तुझे नहीं पता. Because doctor's priority, with due respect, is patient care. उनको ये कंप्यूटर ये मुझे पता है,
उनको बोझ लगता है,
उनको
They
बोझ
feel कि बर्डन बढ़ा दिया
उनको
हमारा.
सर उनको बोझ लगता है और लगना
They
भी
feel
चाहिए
burdened कि अरे यार डॉक्टर साहब क्या बात कर रहे हो.
क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स का पहला फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट इज दैट ट्राई टू गेट इन्वॉल्व विद द पेशेंट्स एलमेंट, राइट. उसको पूरा माइंड उधर रहता है, उसके दुख में उसका दुख होता है. दे आर नॉट रॉन्ग ऑन देयर पार्ट. दोनों साइड से बोल रहा हूँ मैं, ठीक है.
Yeah, you better.
So this doctor one day finally called up his son who was doing something in Singapore. वो बोले यार ये डेमो लेना है. तो दूसरे दिन कुछ 7 बजे हमने हमारे बंदे ने डेमो दिया उसको. He said that what were you doing for the last 8 months? Just do it. And you know, he subscribed to our solution at 70,000 rupees per annum for 18 months, and he digitized all the medical records of the last 18 years in 18 months and released a room, a flat in Ramdaspet area costing more than 4.5 crores. Right? Right? So, you know, this is the use case. So, when we propose similar solution to other doctors, वो बोले यार पहले क्यों नहीं आए? So what I'm trying to have a conviction upon is, it is up to the proposer, like us, like them. So what you do, if you are doing with passion, nothing in the world can stop you from convincing people.
I would like to add another thing. Yes, I agree with you. We have talked of the doctors, but you look at the other side. The patients also are not very receptive. So the challenge which I had the most was that during COVID, how do you connect the elderlies who are technophobic? So I was determined to give the solution to my patients. So I thought of a very simple strategy. I told my staff, tell them to ask them to bring their grandchild online. And that clicked, because every time now, whenever there is elderly, 80s, 70s, 80s or more, my staff first says, where is your grandchild? Then they connect, and then, so the innovation and passion has to go hand in hand. Only then this revolution, so-called revolution, can actually reach the masses. Okay. Yeah, please.
And during COVID time, the concept of decentralized clinical trial. I mean, this is nothing but what you are saying. Like, when patient could not come, we can go to their,
Yes.
and so that we can, avoid this particular patient to fall out of the clinical trial.
Yeah. So Deepshika, now it's your turn.
Yes.
You tell me.
Pain points.
No. So she is from heart. No, it's okay. It's from heart. She's saying pain points. I said yes. Please go ahead. Pain points. Let
I'm
me compliment you. You are at least 5 years ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes.
you. Sir.
I
Thanks,
hope everybody agrees the way she's doing.
I know that pain is coming from where.
Okay.
I thoroughly understand.
Yes. When you are before time, you will have multiple pain points. Yeah, please.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to address that I was genuinely very fortunate that I am incubated at IIT Delhi. So IIT Delhi people are just promoting us. And apart from this, there are so many people who are approaching us from their side that Deepshika, please evolve such kind of tests. That, for example, recently a hair transplant surgeon approached us and said that we need a hair genomics test. So what do you say about this? Then I said that I can dedicate a scientist to you and she will take care of that. And fortunately, Risha, she is with us and she developed a very wonderful test regarding hair genomics and we signed a MOU. But I haven't tasted any such kind of experiences where we can approach a direct doctor and they can say, no, I don't want it. Probably in future, I'm going to see this to happen, that I am proposing a breast cancer test or I am proposing a nutrigenomics test and they'll say,
You
no,
better
no,
not
no.
go alone. You go with the digital marketing.
Yes.
That is the reason I've asked him. Solution for you.
Yes, definitely I'll approach him first and then after some sort of branding we will reach them and probably they will hear us more.
Yeah, but let me tell you, you must involve all the stakeholders if you
Yes.
want to be successful. It can't be focused only on one particular vertical or on one
Very
particular
right.
sector. So whether it's doctors, patients, and of course, social
I
media.
was just thinking about the same thing, that starting from the physician, general physician, I need everybody.
I'll tell you,
Everybody on board.
pharmacogenomics, we have got
Yes.
the reports now. in which we use multiple antidepressants and antipsychotics. So we have got this pharmacogenics which we are using now, but it's last 2 years only, in which we multiple times we get around 70% of the patients we are able to help with medication when they require medication. But we have drug-resistant cases. For all those cases, we get reports in which all the, compounds, if there is a list of antidepressants, we have 20. Without pharmacogenomics, what has been happening since the beginning of this last 5 decades is that we have to do hit and trial. We give the medicine. For example, I know this particular is likely to suit to 70% of the patients. So I'll give that. But with pharmacogenomics coming, I'll tell you, I'll tell you another point to this.
Okay.
So now all over the country, in India as well as abroad, it is being promoted. I happened to meet world #1 genomics expert in Abu Dhabi, and he's a friend of mine now, Dr. Schulz. And I asked him, how much is it 100% authentic? Because I've used it, I was not 100% convinced. He said, it is all in the infancy, Dr. Vora. He has maximum number of trials, and he is pharmacogenomics #1.
Okay.
So I think when we are going ahead with this, we have to go. I'm talking of my field. It's specific to my field.
I was talking about infancy part. Even if it is in infancy, I am not denying it. But the result that we are providing is 99.9% accurate. I am telling this because the chips that we are using are Illumina chip. We are not compromising at any part, first thing. Secondly, the process that we have developed are using ACMG guidelines, and for example, the scientists that we have hired are prime class scientists. So we are not just leaving any stone unturned to match the quality of international standards. This is the thing I am telling you.
Agreed. I was talking of the other side. Now, that is where ethics and regulation comes. So that will be my next round of questions. What are the, I'm asking you, Kandarp. We were discussing the challenges part. So what are the challenges you have faced in digital marketing? Because every time when you go, the client comes to you, they will ask for ROI. What is return of investment? Especially startups are, bootstrapped like us. We have to count each and every single penny we spend. So startup culture is like that. So how do you handle that return of investment on investment? Because you said it takes time, of course, we agree. But sometimes, usually the founders are impatient. Ke abhi tak aaya nahi return. How do you handle that?
So this is very common. So 5 years back, 10 years back, if you would have asked this question to me, it would have been difficult. But now I have been facing this question every meeting that I go to. So
I would not have asked 5 years back because I had not hired 5, 6 by that time.
Yeah.
But this time I've hired.
So basically, the challenge is common, right? We have been talking about information overload, like well-Googled patient. Like I was sitting there and I was just seeing myself as a well-Googled patient because I am not a doctor. It's also a well-socialized doctors as well, right? Who thinks that another doctor is doing something, who is practicing something else, but very active on the social media. The same social media activity will work for my business as well. Now, this is completely inaccurate. I give you 3 or 4 small case studies. Let's say if you are practicing something which is a very local to your area, right? And you need your patient from around 5 kilometers of proximity. I think nearby searches is more beneficial than the social media, because somebody who is looking at the social media reels is not in your city and you are reaching to the wrong people. So nearby searches is better for those proximity people. Someone like her needs patient from anywhere. She needs a global reach. She don't mind maybe a DNA test from another country as well. She needs a branding. So what happens is that a lot of time you have a 1 lakh rupees that you have spent in all of these activities because everybody is doing. What we do, how do we change this, is that what is the most relevant thing for you, right? What is the most priority things for you? We put all that money into that thing. That is where we get the best return out of that, right? And get the results for our clients. So just to respect the time, I'm just...
Yeah, so we have to wind up. So Dr. Ujjwala, from your side, what are the challenges? Because what you were speaking was your passion speaking. But you have not mentioned the challenges, because
yes.
such things are never easy. And
Okay,
every day you listen to no multiple days unless until till the time comes when the other party starts saying yes. I myself had 13 rejections. After that, I started my own startup, so I know it so well. Please.
Yes, yes. I mean, the challenge is the cost. Most important challenge. I mean, like, you know, whatever cost that we give, you know, Indian customers, if we are working with Indian pharmaceutical, they come up with, you know, the half of the cost. And that's difficult to, you know, maintain manpower, maintain the, you know, the cost of softwares and analytic, those, you know, applications that we use. Apart from that, we keep on saying to our customers that it is easy for us to work e-way than the paper way. Okay, because you know what, I mean, we are now setting up our processes. Even the quality assurance is now, you know, we are not really entertaining paper-based processes. So yes, challenge is another, I mean, the first area. Another area is like, you know, if you are going in a big way, like big clinical trials, so you have to have, you know, these softwares and the applications you need to use. Otherwise, it is very difficult to work on paper. And it brings a lot of confusion, lot of discrepancies, you know, in the data, lot of confusion, and, you know, then later on, lot of work, you know, that we put more hours of, you know, number of hours to just clean the data. And end result sometimes negative. And then, you know, what happened, during the process also we can see the analytic, whether we are setting the objectives right.
Going in the right direction.
Yes,
or not, yeah.
and whether our clinical trial is getting those results, whether if you are not getting those results, just stop the trial and, you know, save patients from, you know. So these are the main challenges that we, you know. And then the third challenge is, of course, you know, people are also learning, you know, how to be easy with those applications. So these are the challenges, you know, that we come across as a CRO.
Okay, so I would like to conclude by saying that, of course, there is revolution in the health sector. Technology is revolutionizing, but we have to see that people who are at the center of revolution have more responsibility to see to it that everything should be done in an ethical, transparent, and a responsible way. And we did not get time to discuss about generative AI, which is something which is much, much more challenging. And the chances of getting you know, deep fakes and all other things is also increasing. So there has to be a balance. And India at this stage globally is at the forefront. So we hope that we will be able to create carvanish for the whole world from our respective verticals and with all the stakeholders with us. Thank you, all of you. Can we ask? Yeah. Questions, please? Yeah. Yeah, please. Can somebody give her mic? Yeah, you take this one. Yeah.
Just two questions. I don't know, but yeah. One question is, how would you ensure data security or the patient privacy? And the second is interoperability in terms of one clinic to another. These are the two prime factors to make the digital revolution in India.
Yeah, okay.
So in our case, whenever we are dealing with DNA, then data security become prime concern. And yes, we are very much mindful regarding this. The data cycle is the correct term for this. And we are using international sort of things, for example, Amazon Web Services. So each and every type of sample will go to encrypted folders, and it will not be even accessible to all of the employees of my company. Only designated scientists will be allowed to go to those folders. Everything will be encrypted, and yes, we just have to make it so secure that people should trust and can trust us. This is very important, and we can't just miss it.
Yes, and of course, with this new act coming, the 23 Personal Data Protection Act, things will be much, much serious, and all the tech people who are having this as their own companies, they will have to pass through all those strict regulatory guidelines. Regarding interoperability, I would like you to answer, yeah.
Yes, from the security perspective, first question probably was the security. So we are a 256-bit encrypted data stored on IBM servers. So when we researched on the best cloud platform, IBM was costlier by how much? 3 times as compared to big daddies and small daddies, whatever. But we ensured that our data, entire data is on IBM right from day 0. Secondly, our CDN is with Azure. So next level of encryption. Now this is from the technology perspective. From our own data, your data, my data, doctor's data, patient data, getting wiped off from servers, we have a $10 lakh insurance from IBM when we signed up an SSL certificate, number 2. Number 3, there had been instances where doctors have tried to buy out our marketing guys, technical guys, asking for patient data, कि भैया तो मुझे patient data दे. They've tried to buy it out. See, I mean, I'm trying to tell you why these things matter, because we all are healthcare professionals probably. So these things matter. So there had been bouncers on us also. So वो डॉक्टर बोलता है कि तू दे दे, मैं तेरे को इतना पैसा दूंगा. बोले और I'll ask your owner to दे. बोले ओनर से लेंगे तो आपको कभी बेच नहीं पाएंगे वो इंडिया ओपीडी. So to answer that question, it's tricky to answer, but it's technically, and since we are not HIPAA compliant country, right? Since we are not ICD-11 compliant, so we don't have to go in the HIPAA compliance as such. I hope that.
So any other questions? We can take it later on because we are running short of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandeep.